Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, we are going to see the top 4 most asked Tableau scenario based interview questions. And these are very much important for those guys who are appearing for an interview having 1 year of experience up to 7 years of experience. Okay. And those who are fresher, they also can watch like if they're having 6 months of internship experience. And those who are fresher, those are can also watch this video. They can learn some new functions, how to apply them and how to solve different cases and scenarios which are asked in interview. All right. And definitely they will be asked if you are if you are doing an certified course, then they are in a the interviewer knows that you know Tableau, so they may ask you these types of scenario based questions. All right. So before starting, I request you, please subscribe my channel. So you can see many people watch but they do not subscribe, so it will give me a motivation to make more such videos. And it is free for you, so you just have to click on that particular subscribe button. And please like this video as well, share it to your friends if you are liking my content whichever I am uploading on YouTube. All right. So moving ahead, we will start with our first scenario which we have and which is asked by our interviewer is to find out the first and last order date sales. And later he's asking, after doing this, later he's asking us to add year filter in the filter panel and find the same first and last order sales for year wise. Okay. Whenever a filter or we can say user or we are operating that year particular a year filter. Okay. So first what we will do, first we will find out the first and last ordered sales, and then we will find the or we will solve the next part of this particular scenario. So before that, what we have to do, we have to connect to our data. So the data which we are going to use is the superstore sales data, the data which comes with Tableau. We are going to use that only. And if you guys are using Tableau public, then the Tableau public also have, but if you don't have that particular data with you, I will add a link in the description box from where you can download the data and you can use that particular data. Okay. So first what we have to do is we have to connect to our data. So I will be connecting to saved data sources. You can see there is an option called save data sources, and by default you have a sample superstore over here. So I will just connect over here and you can see the sample. We are connected right now to a sample superstore data. Right now, first, we will do our first scenario, that is finding out the first and last order date sales. Okay. So now to find out the first and last order date, definitely we will need an order date field. We have a order date field. I will bring it into the visualization. So it is in years, so I will convert it into exact date, right? So we want all the dates in our database, and I will right click again and I will convert it into discrete. Okay, so manually you can see that the first order date which we have is the 3rd of January 2019, which is the first date, and last date you can see it is to like 30th December 2022. Okay, so this is the first and last date which we want to find out the sales for. And now we have to use different calculations, different LOD functions to find out. So let's see. So manually you can go ahead and find out, right? So like you will apply some filters to first and last date. No, but it should be dynamic. Whenever a new year is added into that particular database, or we can say that particular formula should take our dynamic date, that's the latest date which we have into our database and the first date. So for that we will create a calculation field over here and I will name it as last and first date or first and last date, whichever is preferable. Okay, now we will be writing a calculation over here. I will just increase the size. So what we are going to make use of a fixed LOD over here. So curly braces, whenever I open it, it will be a by default fixed LOD. If I write directly over here, let's say I'm writing a minimum of order date. Okay, and if I'm closing this particular bracket, the curly bracket, so by default anything you write directly in the curly braces and an aggregation with any field, by default it is a fixed LOD. But if you want to write with respect to any categorical field or any other field, then you have to mention if it is a fixed LOD, include LOD or exclude LOD. If you are writing this directly at curly braces, it is a by default fixed LOD and it is at data source level. We are not mentioning any dimension over here with respect to that particular LOD. So right now it is considering as overall database. From that it will give us the minimum order date. Okay, this minimum order date if it is equal to our order date. Okay, so this order date, that is if this minimum order date is equal to our order date, then it will give us an true or false. Okay, so let's say I'm taking this, I'm selecting this, and I will take it into visualization. You can see this condition is valid only for first date because this is the latest date which we have in our database, and all other things are false. Okay, you can see the last date is also false because we have used a minimum function over here. Like, let's say I'm using the same function. Okay, I will just control C and I will paste it over here, and instead of min I'm using a max function over here. Okay, so let's use a max function, and when I take this and when I break it into visualization, now here you can see the minimum is false, but if you can see the last date which we have in our database, it is true now, right? So in this way, these two functions are working independently because we have taken independent functions over here. So just for now, we'll just remove this. So now what we want is we want this both the functions to be worked at one time. So what we are going to use, and when we are going to use an arithmetic operator over here, that is OR function. Okay, so if this is satisfying or if this is satisfying, right? So either this should satisfy or this should satisfy. If both are satisfying, then it will give us an answer. So right now I'm considering, or I'm taking all of this, and when I bring it into visualization, you can see the first date we are getting as true, and at last also you can see this is also giving us as true. So in this way we are finding out the first and last date. Okay, so we are finding out this by using order date. There are multiple ways by which you can find out, but this is the easiest way by using a fixed LOD. And your interviewer is also expecting you to use a fixed LOD because he want you, or he want to test how you are good in your fixed LODs and other types of LOD functions. All right, so try to make use of fixed LOD. If he's asking just minimum date, then you can use this function. If he's asking only maximum date or last date, you can use this function. If he's asking both first and last date, you can use this both functions combinedly with using an OR operator. Okay, I will just click on OK now. I will remove this for now. And the function which we have created is I will add it into filter, and we just want true conditions. So I will just hit apply, and you can see 3rd of January 2019 is our first date, and 30th December 2022 in our database is our release date. And we want to find out the sales for this. I will take a sales and I will put it over here. So you can see these are the sales for first and last date of our data table. All right. And now next part, what he is asking us to add year filter in a filter panel and operate that particular filter or year filter. And then for the selected year, we have to find out the first date and last date. So what I will do now, I will take a order date and I will put it into filter, and we want it for year. So for now I will use all, and I will click on OK. Now I will right click and I will click on show filter. Okay, so now here you can see there are different filters. So I will just select none first, and I will select 2019. Okay, so as soon as I select 2019, here you can see that I am getting the first date, but I am not getting the last date over here. Similarly, when I choose 2020, I am getting nothing over here. Similarly, when I choose 2021, I will get nothing over here. But when I choose 2022, I will get one date, but it is a maximum data. It is, we are not getting the first date of 2022 or 2021 or 2020 or 2019. But when we select the entire thing, we will get for all the years, right? Is from 19 to 22, we will get the first date and last date. So now how to operate this? And here the most important concept is there, because in calculation, if you see the calculation which we have written to be okay, right, to get the first and maximum date, we are using a fixed LOD over here. And always remember, fixed LOD will give you correct result, and it will be operated only after dimension filter and before the context filter. What does it mean? That so whenever you are using a fixed LOD, you might have known the operation of filters in Tableau, or we can say order of operation of filter in Tableau. This concept is important. When we are using a fixed LOD is operated after dimension filter. Okay. And before context filter means what? This dimension filter which we are using here, it does not affect the fixed LOD calculations over here. What we have to do, we have to right click over here and we have to add this to context. Okay, now I have added this to context because fixed LOD is operated before context filter. All right, so now when I select 2019 only, you can see I'm getting the first date and last date of 2019. 3rd January of 2019 is the first date and 31st January 2019 is the last date of 2019. Similarly, if I see for 2021, 2nd January and 31st January, December, sorry, 31st December is the fixed date. If you want to see it for 2 years, okay, I'm looking for 2022 and 2021. You can see 2 January 2020 is the first date and 31st December is the last date. Similarly, you can see it for 2022, 1st January and the 30th, what we can say December is the last date. So in this way, always remember whenever you are using an LOD functions and specifically the fixed LOD functions, try to understand how the order of filter works. Okay, so it is always operated after context filter. Okay, whenever we are applying a context filter, then only fixed LOD will operate. It is not after, before context filter and after a dimension filter. I don't have the diagram right now, but you can search on Google order of operations of filter. So you can see the fixed LOD is operated after dimension and before context filter, in between these two. So we have added the filter in the year filter which we are operating into context. I hope you have understood this. And this is expected, like in this particular scenario he is testing two knowledge, right? First one is how to find out the first and last date using LOD, and second, with respect to LOD, how the order of operation of filter works. Then he is also testing how to use the context filter over here and the dimension filter. All right. So this is the most important scenario, in which in one scenario he have tested 3 to 4, or we can say functionalities, if you know in Tableau or not. All right. So this was your first scenario. Let's move ahead to our second scenario. So this is also the most important scenario. The interviewer is asking you create a bar chart by month and sales. Okay, so he's asking us to create a bar chart for month and sales. Then he's asking us next to give alternate red and green colors to the bars. Okay, so we want to give an alternate colors to the bar. It may be red or green. So he have given an example here, like for example January, March, like he's saying alternate, right? So January, March, we can say February is skipped, March, April is skipped, then June, right? So likewise, you want to give red colors, okay, or sorry, green colors, and the February, or we can say he want us to give odd months as an green color and even months as an red color. All right, and he's asking us to write a logic for this. Okay, and he's also specifying that do not do this manually. Okay, he want us to write a logic for that. So first what we will do, we will create a bar chart for month and sales first. So I will take an order date. Okay, I will take order date, and we want to convert it into month. So I have converted this to month and I will take it to columns. Okay, so instead of bar chart, we will create here a column chart. Both are one and the same. So it will give us the same results, doesn't matter over here. And I will take a sales. Okay. And instead of line chart, we will convert to bar chart, and I will click to enter view. So here you can see January should be given as green, March green, May green, then July green, and alternate, that is the even, what we can see even month should be given as red color. All right. So for this, he asking us do not give the manual colors. Okay. So what you will do manually, that you will take a month from here. Okay. You will take this month and you will put in colors, and for each color from here you will change the colors. Okay. He don't want you to use this particular method, because this is a very basic method. So he will understand that you are a very much basic guy. Okay, so he want us to create a calculation field. So let's give a calculation field, and I will name it as color codes. Okay, and we will use a calculation here. So I will write the calculation, and then I will explain you how the calculation works. I will write a if condition, then I will use integer function. Okay, and from this we will take a month. Okay, we want month of order date. Okay, so we are taking for month of order date, and I will close the integer if and I will take a modulus of this, modulus of 2, that is we are dividing it by 2, and if the remainder is equal to 0, okay, then we want what? Green. Okay, else what we want? Red. Okay, so I'll take this now. Okay, so now let's see how this particular function works here, and we have to end this. All right. So if integer of month. So means what? So this month of order date, we are converted this into integer format like 1, 2, 3, 4, 200, 700, and it should be a proper integer, not a fraction value like 0.2 or 1.3, 1.4. No, it will be converted into a proper integer format. And percentage of 2 is nothing but in Tableau we are using a percentage. If you want to take modulus or mod, we say mod. Okay, so mod of 2 means what? We are dividing this entire number by 2, and if the remainder is 0, okay, so if the remainder of this particular division what we are doing here is 0, then it will give us the green as an output, and if it is not 0, it will give us an red as an output. Okay, so this is the best way I have explained you. So this is a very unique function which we are using here, that is percentage of 2, that is a modulus. So this is rarely used, and so your interviewer want to test you if you know this. Okay, so I will just hit OK and I will take this into colors. So you can see the colors are given here, but we want to change the colors over here. So what we will do for green, so it is taking alternate color for green, so we have to change the calculation here. So edit, so instead of, just one second. So we want a color code. So this one we'll edit, and instead of green here, we will take it as red. So we want this as red, and with this want this as green. Okay, and I will just hit OK. So you can see this is green. Okay, so we want the odd numbers to be green and this to be red. Now what we will do, we'll just change the green color to green. I will take the traffic lights. So this will be green and this will be proper red. Apply. Okay. So now you can see January, March, May, July, September. These are given into green colors, and these are, that is the alternate even, or we can say even months are given into a, what we can say, red color. So in within one formula we have done this, and we are making a use of modulus which I explained you, and with respect to the remainder of that particular division, it will give us the output. All right. So in this way we have to use our logics. If you are not you can say familiar with mod, you can study statistics. Okay, so that is the reason whenever you are learning data analytics or Tableau, statistics is the much more important thing, like how to find modulus, mean, median, mode, what is the remainder, how to make a division, and how to find out the remainder, that is also important. Okay, so I recommend you to find it on Google or use some another resources to understand how we are, how this particular function works actually. All right. So this is our second scenario. So we will move ahead to our third scenario. So in this particular scenario, what our interviewer is asking us, this is the very basic question. So he is asking us to find the sales for current and previous month. So right now I'm recording this. You can see I am in July month. Okay, that is July 2023 month. So it will be, so for you, whenever whichever month you are looking this particular video and you are trying into your laptop or in your system, it will give some different results from me. Okay, so don't worry about that. It will be a correct result. All right. So you just have to test whether it is correct or it is wrong. But definitely the results, whatever I am getting into my system, it will be different, and for your system, it will be different, because for me today it is 14th of July 2023. All right. So now he want us to find out the sales for current and previous month. Okay, so when I take an order date, okay, I will take order date. So we have the date of 2022. Okay, the final or the last date which in our database we have is 2022, but today is 2023. So what we will do, we will make some modifications in our data so that we will take or we will increase our year of date by 1 year. Okay, so for that I will write a calculation and I will name it as new order date. Okay, this is just to enter in 2023, and to work our scenario I am doing this. So I will just use a date add function over here. So date add, so date add is used to add or subtract the date from that particular date part. Okay, so date part for me right now will be year. For you, it will be, or it depends upon situation. If you want to add weeks, it will be week, month, or likewise. So for me, it is years. I will mention in single inverted comma as year, comma, what should be the interval? We want to increase it by 1 year, so 1 will be the interval. If you want to decrease it by 1 year, then you have to write -1. Okay, so it will give you 20 instead of 2022, it will give you 2021. All right, but we want to increase, so +1 or only 1 is working. Don't type +1, plus will not working. and we want it to be increased from order date. Okay, so I'll just click on OK. And when I take this into visualization, you can see the new year which we have created, it is increased by 1 year. So from 2019 we have increased 1 year, 2020, and last is 2023. And now we will be using this new year. Okay, so this new year we will be using for our calculations of this particular scenario. And I will right click and I will convert this to month. Okay, so you can see I will convert this to continuous month, but I will convert it into discrete. Okay, so you can see right now we are in July month. Okay, so here you can see we are right now in July month, and here you can see this is December 2023. We have some future dates, but we just want to find out the sales for current month is for July, and last one is June. So we want to find out this month for June and July. Okay, because June is the previous month for me right now, it is June is the previous month and July is the current month. For you it will be different because your date of watching this video will be different. So don't worry, the results will be varying, but the logic which we are using is absolutely correct. Okay, and it will work for you as well. So I will write a calculation field and I will name it as current year and previous year, not current year, current month and previous month sales. Okay, so we will be using or we will be solving this by two scenarios. Okay, however our interviewer want. So I will be using a date diff function. Okay, so date difference means what? Difference between two dates. And what is the date part? We want it on month. Okay, so I will be using a month as a date part, comma. What is the start date? Start date is our new order date. Okay, so new which we have created. Don't use our traditional order date which we have in our data. The new order date which we created just now. And the end date, what should be end date? It will be today. Okay, today is the dynamic function. Okay, so whenever you will open your system tomorrow, today will be like tomorrow's date, whatever, whenever you are opening it. And I will just click. So what I will do, I will just take this into here in text, and here you can see 0. Okay, so here you can see 0 is whenever we are getting 0, it is 2023, and here we are getting 246. So don't worry about this number because it is taking the what we can say l- like for all the months from it is calculating till today. Okay, so it is taking everything and then it is giving us the difference. So don't worry about that. But what we want here is it should be less than or equal to 1. Okay, so it should be less than or equal to 1 so that our condition will be satisfied. I will just click on OK right now and I will remove this, and when I bring it into this particular thing, you can see everything is false, but you can see June, July, and all after this is true. Why? Because why this is true? Because it should be less than 1 and less than or equal to 1, but this is -1. Okay, because these are having negative functions or negative values, so obviously it is less than 1, so it will be also true. So to convert that, or we can say to neglect this, we will modify our function and I will edit this, and instead of -1, what we will do, I will use a in function over here, in 0 comma 1. So value should be either 0 or 1. In function is nothing but it works as an or operator. Okay, it works as an or operator, and it should be 0 and 1. Okay, so it should be 0 and 1, not or operator, it should be an and operator. So sorry for the confusion. It works an and operator means what? The value should be either 0 or it should be either 1, and I will just click on OK. So now you can see 2023 is true and July 2023 is also true. So these two are the months which we are going to use, and I will bring the sales into visualization. Sales. So these are the sales for it, and now we will put this into filter and we want it as true value, and I will click on apply. So now you can see we are getting, just let me increase this. Perfect. So now you can see right now we are in July, so we are getting the sales for this, and right now we are the previous month was June, so we are getting the sales for current and previous months. But here you can see it is giving the sales of entire month which we are having over here. Okay, so if I choose the exact date, okay, so here you can see today is the 14th of June. Okay, so today is 14th of June, and we are getting future month, or we can say future date sales also, like 15 is tomorrow, 16 is tomorrow. So then why should we get those sales over here? So for that, what we will do, or your interviewer may ask you, if you solve this question, he will ask you, like for today we are getting until 14 only we should get the sales. Okay, so like this from 1st of what we can say 1st of July to until 14th of July, because for me today is 14th of July, so we should only get 20,821. Okay, then for that what we have to do, we have to again modify our calculations. So I will, for that I will, what I will do, I will write a new calculation, and I will write a new calculation as, let me show you, new calc. I will name it as new calc, and I will write the calculation first and then I will explain you. If so, what we want is year. Okay, so year of order date. First is what? Year of order date. That is new order date, not this order date. It should be new order date. Okay, year of new order date should be equal to what? Year of today. So what does this do is, okay, so what does this do? If this condition is satisfied, year of today is what? 2023. Okay, year of today is 2023, and it should be matching to this particular year, so it will matching 2023. So we have what we can say, filtered out our data to 2023. And what we want, one more condition, that is month. Okay, month of today should be equal to, or month of new order date should be equal to, second, month of new order date should be equal to year of today. First I will delete this. Okay, so it should be equal to year of today. All right, and one more thing, that is order date. Okay, so your new order date, whatever new order date you are going to use, okay, so this new order date, one sec, so this new order date should be less than or equal to today. Means what? The new order date have the future date values like 15, 16 up to 30th of July, but it should be less than or equal to today, because today is 14th of July, so it should be less than or equal to today. Okay, so what this condition does this, okay, so this particular condition, what this will give us is 2023 year. Okay, this particular condition will give us the month, that is July. Okay, and this particular condition will give us, okay, date less than or equal to 14 July. Okay, 14 July 2023, because for me today is 14th of July. Okay, so these are the three conditions which we are going to use, and then we what want? Then we want sales, and we will end this. Okay, so you can see calculation is valid. Let's say if it works or not. And when I take into visualization, I'll just double click this. Here you can see we haven't got any sales over here right now. So for that, let's see our calculation, what we have done wrong. New calc, edit. Okay, so now here you can see year of order date. So here you can see, here it should be month. Okay, so and I will apply. So you can see we got a calculation, that is we got the sales for what we can say for July, we got it for as 2821. And here you can see by last calculation or the previous calculation we got, okay, by using this filter we got as 45989. But this is the correct value. Why? Because if I see exact date, okay, it is starting from 1st of July and it is ending at 14th of July. Okay, because the today is 14th of July for me. If you are watching that video on that particular date, you can, analyze on your own how we are saying this. Okay, so the future sales are neglected over here because we are at 14th of July. We will get these values only. All right, but if you want your last sales also, so that we will again modify our calculation. I will edit this, and instead of this particular function, instead of this entire thing, I will use here date diff. Okay, so I will use a date diff function over here. Date diff, date part will be month. Okay, comma, the start date should be new order date and the end date should be today. Okay, and this entire should be in 0 comma 1, because it should be either 0 or 1. 1 means what? 1 month back, and 0 means what? Current month. Okay, and when I hit apply, you can see I'm getting the current month sales up to 14th of July and 53056 up to what we can say or we can say complete sales of last month. Okay, so these are cross questionings might be done, so this value you are getting correct. Okay, but this is for entire month, and he will ask you, I want it until today only, then you have to modify our calculations. So in this way you must know how to find out the current and last month. So this is some advanced scenarios which we are saying into this particular video. All right, so this was your scenario number 3. Let's move ahead to our scenario number 4. So this is an easy scenario. In this, what he's asking us, create a bar chart for subcategory wise sales. Okay, and then he's asking us to add a dynamic parameter to change the measure. Okay, means what? Whenever we are creating a bar chart by sales, he want us to create a dynamic measure so that he don't want to only see sales, he want to see sales, or he can choose and profit or quantity. Okay, so this is a very straightforward question. So first what we'll do, we'll take subcategory, I will take it in rows, and then we want sales. Okay, and I will choose it as entire view. Okay, so we have sorted this. I will just clear the sort. Okay, so and I will turn on the labels for this. Okay, now next he want a parameter to be created so that whenever he select sales or he select profit or he select quantity, with respect to that this bar charts measure should be changed. So for that, first we will create an parameter over here, and I will name that parameter as dynamic measure. Okay, you can name anything. And instead of data type as float, I will use as string, and I will choose as list. So first we want sales. Okay, so make sure whatever you are writing here next, the same, what we can say, words should be used in calculation. So this is case sensitive. So make sure you are writing whatever here, it should be used in calculation. Next is profit, and next is quantity. Okay, so these are the three measures he want us to, to be shown in the parameter, and by using operating those, the chart should be changed. I will just click on OK. I will right click and I will click on show parameters. So when I select profit, the value should be changed. The quantity, this particular chart should be changed with respect to that. But right now it is not changing because we have not connected this parameter to a calculation, and we have not used that calculation into our visualization. So first what we'll do, we'll create a calculation field. I will name it as dynamic calc. Okay, so we are going to make use of a case function over here. So case, and next is field. He want us to mention the field. So field is nothing but the parameter which right now we created, that is dynamic measure. So first value in this particular dynamic measure is what? Sales. So when sales, okay, so make sure you are writing it in single quotes. Sales, when sales, and this is a case sensitive statement. Okay, so whatever you are writing here, it should be case sensitive. When sales, then what we want? Sales measure. Okay, then when sales means what? Then we want this particular sales measure. Okay, when next is what? Profit. When it is profit, when we select a profit over here, then we should get what? Profit. That is this is the profit. Okay, next, when we are selecting quantity, okay, when we are selecting quantity, then we should get quantity. All right, and then we will end this. Okay, so you can see calculation is valid. I will just click on OK. Now when I operate this, still it is not changing. Why? Because we have created a calculation, but it should be using in our, what we can say, our visualization. So we will find our calculation. So this is the dynamic calculation. So I will take it and I will replace this with the sum of sales. Okay, I will just put it over on this particular field. So you can see the dynamic calculation is here. Now when I change this, when I change to profit, you can see it has taken the profit as to be the measure into our, what we can say, subcategory versus profit chart. All right, so when I choose quantity, I will get quantity, and with respect to that, whichever quantity your client want to visualize, he can select it from here and he can take the insights from this. Okay, so this is the most important scenario, and it is more used in most of the industries, right? So instead of creating three different charts with three different measures, you can give a particular filter or parameter over here from where he can operate, and he can see the, what we can say, insights from this. So this will increase the performance of Tableau as well. So this was all about the fourth scenario, and I hope you have understood all the scenarios. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me in my comment box or the mail mentioned in the description box. And I request you to add a few more scenario questions in comment box so that I will make a video on that also. If you are not comfortable in sending it in comment box, you can reach me out on WhatsApp, and definitely I will make a video in upcoming, what we can say, scenario based questions on that particular question which you are sending. All right, So this was for all today. See you in the next one, guys. Thank you.